This is Christopher Moldong of Chris's Storytelling Corner. Today I'm going to do a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 11 and 12. Next time I'll have a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 13 and 14, a reading of my fantasy short story The Witch's Origin, and a movie review for Black Panther. I'll also, actually next week, I'm going to the Long Beach Comic Expo, so I'll have a diary on that as well. Check out my Twitter page and author's Facebook page. Links to all these will be provided on the description. I'd really like to hear from you guys as well, so please leave any comments. If you want me to repost any of you guys' stuff or whatnot too, just leave a comment about that. And make sure to subscribe and share this channel as well. So, the way that this is going to work is that I'm going to give a recap of Skip Beat Volume 11 and then give my thoughts on that and do the same for Volume 12. So let's get started with the recap of Skip Beat Volume 11. The volume begins with a flashback of Kyoko and Korn in the forest. He gives her the stone, like that special stone she has. Kyoko, as Mio, does a scene with Mitsuki and does it well. Miss Izuka approves of Kyoko's Mio and says that it's even better than hers, the original Mio. Kyoko talks with Ren and Yashiro. She criticized Ren for just eating rice balls. I guess he's not eating well. And that's Ren for you. Itsumi, or Miss Momose, Itsumi Momose, who plays Mizuki, admits that Kyoko's acting is better than expected. Ren reveals that he wants the original Tsukigamori. Like Kyoko did with Mio, Ren wants to create a Katsuki that's better than the original. But however, Ren gets a retake because Ogata couldn't feel the changes in Katsuki's feelings towards Mizuki. It turns out that Ren has had 4 retakes, which is unprecedented for Ren, and Ogata is getting to be known as a retake fiend. Director Ogata gives Ren direction and how to play Katsuki. He tells him that once he puts it all together, he'll surpass the original easily. Um, Elsewhere, Sho does a shoot and acts aloof. At the dressing room, he thinks about Kyoko and gets angry. Ren does a scene with Itsumi, but he freezes. It turns out that this was his 3rd time that he froze. Mr. Suruga would then be unable to act as Katsuki at all. It turns out that Ren wanted to try again, but Ogata told him to leave the set. Kyoko, um, Elsewhere, Kyoko plays Bo. Backstage, she finds Mr. Suruga sitting alone depressed. Bo appears and asks Ren what's wrong. Ren asks Bo if he's ever fallen in love. I'm assuming that Bo is male here, by the way. They don't really actually specify if Bo is male or female, or if they did, I forgot. So I'm going to assume Bo is male. Ren reveals that he's never fallen in love. He doesn't understand how to act as someone who's attracted to someone he shouldn't fall in love with. Bo starts stomping the ground. He says that he saw a cockroach. Ren gets angry because he was suffering as Bo was happily stomping a cockroach. Ren pulls Bo's hat off, and underneath looks like a bad buzz cut. President Lori shows up at the Dark Moon set and has a masquerade ball on the set. Lori asks Ogata where Ren is. Ogata tells him that he's at another job, and Lori says that he'll come back tomorrow. Bo's hat gets fixed. Ren tells him that he feels better after talking to them. So, they're in a different area, obviously, than where the president is. Bo asks Ren if he's seen someone's expression or gesture and couldn't stop staring at her. Ren says that he has, and Bo tells him that it's the beginning of love. Ren finds what Bo said as unpleasant. There are many things that Ren Suruga finds unpleasant, it seems like. Ren tells Bo that this person is still in high school and is only 15 or 16. I wonder who that is. Ren admits to Bo that he can't afford to have anything precious here, meaning his heart. In the dressing rooms, Kyoko over. So they're on the Dark Moon set now. And in the dressing rooms, Kyoko overhears Itsumi, or Miss Momose, saying that she finds Mio to be a better actor than Ren. Itsumi can't feel his emotions, and that makes it hard for her to react. Kyoko yells out loud, hearing that, and gets upset because Mr. Suruga was compared to a newcomer talento like her. Kyoko calls Mr. Yashiro. She asks for Mr. Suruga's schedule for tomorrow. Yashiro agrees to tell her, but on one condition. So we see Ren driving home, and when he parks, Kyoko is there to greet him. It turns out that Yashiro told Kyoko to have a meal with Ren and just go see him. When Kyoko's at Ren's place, Ren has his lying, gentlemanly smile for some reason. They watch television as they eat, and on the program, there's a couple who have a 19-year age difference. Kyoko asks Ren what he thinks about that couple, and he's fine with it. Ren stares at Kyoko and admits that watching them, he realized something that he didn't want to. He then gives out a big sigh. Ren drives Kyoko home, but cannot seem to make eye contact with her when he's talking to her. Before Ren drives away, Kyoko tells him that she'll be waiting to see Katsuki as soon as possible and that she'll be waiting more than Mizuki is. Ren tells Kyoko that he'll do his best. Kyoko resolves to see Mr. Suruga again tomorrow and get him into a fall in love frame of mind. At the end of the volume, Ren drives home thinking about Kyoko, seems to come to some sort of realization, and gives out a big sigh. So, some thoughts. I'll start with Mio, actually, because I like what Kyoko's doing with Mio. I think she's a really strong character in a sense in Dark Moon, but also just how she's portrayed as this evil person. She's cool. She fits the role well, and obviously she's doing this role better than how Ren is doing as Katsuki, which keeps going to show that like a couple things. One, when Kyoko plays a different role, she really becomes that role and really changes herself both mentally and physically. Um, the other thing is she's apparently a really great actress and like is just really good and has like latent talent for acting. Dark Moon's still going on. It's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? There seems to have some parallels with there's the drama within the drama. Ren is struggling. Katsuki is struggling with like his love with Mizuki. Katsuki or Ren is now struggling with the role of Katsuki. So there's this big sense of struggle with like the main male protagonist. And now you got this unrequited love thing going on with someone that's younger, and that's also in real life with Kyoko and Ren, and now you have it kind of playing out with Katsuki and Mizuki. So you see the parallels there. Getting to know a little bit about Itsumi Momose. I don't have a good read on her yet. She seems like a serious actor. She doesn't seem like a potential love interest. Um, she seems to have a legitimate gripe against Ren Suruga at this point, as far as he is being an actor. Um, but she seems to find Kyoko's Mio to be just fine. So as of right now, I don't have a good read on her. She's kind of there to drive the point home that Ren is struggling and not doing well, whereas Kyoko is, as Mio, is doing well. I mean, and she's just kind of like this bridge right now of saying that and experiencing that. Ogata's kind of went to the background here. He's now the retake fiend, which I guess really goes to show that he's just kind of grown. This is who he is as a director. He wants things perfect. He really wants Suki or Dark Moon to be better than the original Tsukigomori, and he's doing all these retakes in order to fulfill that goal. Just fine. President Lori showed up on the set of Dark Moon. That is foreboding, foreshadowing something. Obviously, he's not just there to hang out and have a masquerade, even though he did just show up and have a masquerade. But I doubt he's just there to hang out. He originally did not want Ren to play the role of Katsuki, so we're going to see where this goes. Ren is really struggling these days. He has this inability to act as Katsuki, and he's considered like the top male actor of Japan right now. And he can't do this role. We're starting to find out a little more about Ren. He's never fallen in love, but women love this guy. You know, and this seems to have this volume seems to have a little less to do with Kyoko and more to do with Ren. But she's obviously a big part of what's going on too, because they're obviously working together, but there's obviously this budding relationship thing going on between the two, which parallels Dark Moon. Um, let's see if he can get over this. You know, he's starting to realize a lot of things about himself, though, and growing as an actor and kind of as a person because it seems like he's finding out his feelings towards a certain someone. This certain someone being Kyoko. And, the thing is, she's Bo. And Bo and Ren have this interesting relationship of like friendship, confidant type thing, but it's Kyoko. And it's like Kyoko hasn't seemed to have picked up on some of the stuff that Ren is talking about. It's like, oh, he's in love with someone who's a high school student. And it's like she hasn't put two and two together. It's like, this high school student is probably you, Kyoko. But she's just so oblivious to that fact. But Bo's an interesting confidant because he gets Ren to really talk it out and just kind of like, I guess, release in a sense. It's just like uh, to vent. There we go, to vent. You know, he can't seem to do that with Kyoko. Obviously, he's talking to her and can't make eye contact with her, but he can, talk to Bo quite easily. Um, the Kyoko Ren stuff, I mean, it's interesting because she acted a bit, like, oh, I'm gonna be waiting for Katsuki, and she said it in this really like lovey-dovey way in a sense. So, like, I'm kind of wondering what's going on with Kyoko right now. We kind of know what's going on with Ren and his struggles and his, like, realizations. Like, hey, dude, I think it's pretty obvious. He's starting to realize that he has a thing for Kyoko. I mean, it's kind of there already, but, like, you know, it's bound to happen. It seems like Shofua's still around too, and he seems to have this weird thing going on with Kyoko as well. So, before we get into the next volume, I'd like to plug my author's website at www.chrismaldonado.com, and you can read a new blog post every week on there. I post every Sunday. My newest post had to do with looking towards the past and re-editing as far as being a writer goes, because I looked at an old short story actually that I want to re-edit. Also, do you like anime? Do you like your action, adventure, going, exploring different worlds, getting to know the most quirkiest characters of all time? Then buy my book. It's the fantasy adventure, The Mustard Prince in the Convent Kingdom, for just $4.99. It's $5 via ebook, on Amazon.com or on my author's website. Links to buy it will be provided on the page description. So let's get on to volume 12. So the volume begins with Ren getting ready for a taping, and he gives out a big sigh again in the dressing room. I think this is a different taping. I don't think this is for Dark Moon. So in the dressing room, Yashiro notices that there's something wrong with Ren. Bo goes to Ren's dressing room and wants to talk with him. Actually, it's like a different costume. Bo costume, but it's still Bo. Ogata wants to call Ren, but struggles to do so. So Ren and Bo talk about that couple on television that had a 19-year age difference. Ren admits to approving of the relationship, but admits that it doesn't make sense that the 4-year age difference with him and the person he likes is unacceptable. So he knows that it doesn't make sense about his own standards. Bo questions if he's denying his feelings because his girl is a high school student. Ren admits that was the reason until now. And when I say his girl, it's like the girl he likes. It's not really like his girl, obviously. Ren admits that was the reason until now, but he just needed an excuse that'll prevent him from falling in love with her. He also admits that even after she graduates from high school, he'll find another reason to lock up his heart. He says that she's not for him and that he can't fall in love with her, and he'll force himself to believe that. Ogata ends up calling Ren. Ren tells Yashiro that the day after tomorrow, he'll go on set and play the part of Katsuki in front of the president, so in front of President Lori. If the president leaves while Ren is acting, he'll be fired on the spot. Apparently, 2 days ago, President Lori visited the set. Lori threatens that if Ren can't act Katsuki in 3 days, he should hire another actor. He tells him to look for a replacement right away. He ultimately tells Ogata to get rid of incompetent actors, implying that Ren is an incompetent actor. So um, in the present, Ren walks with Yashiro. Ren contemplates how to act out his own Katsuki. They run into Kyoko, who was waiting for them to give Ren a lunchbox. She really wanted to help Mr. Surugu somehow. Ren tells Kyoko that there's one more thing he wants for her, which is her body and her time tonight. Ooh. Kyoko goes to Ren's place, and it turns out that he just wants to rehearse with her. Okay, like, just rehearse Dark Moon. That's all. Kyoko agrees to play the role of Mizuki, but Ren tells her not to use the script and just to pretend. Ren will play Katsuki, and they'll just spend time in the living room. They begin when Mizuki comes and visits Katsuki's room. The scene involves Katsuki taking a few days off due to a cold. Mizuki comes over to see how he's doing because she's worried. They start the scene, but Ren immediately declares that it is no good. Ren explains the situation to Kyoko, and she realizes what she did wrong. They do the scene over again. They have a conversation at the front door, but Katsuki tries to send Mizuki away. Mizuki gets her foot in the door and makes an excuse of him having to eat so she can come in. In the living room, Katsuki tries to give Mizuki treatment to her leg because she hurt her leg on the door. She tells him that she won't accept treatment unless he lets her cook for him. He tells her that if she doesn't want to get treated here, then she can go home, and starts to push her out. Mizuki admits to lying to him, but Katsuki tells her that she has to go home once he treats her. Mizuki tells Katsuki that she didn't come as a student, but as family since he's going to marry her sister, Misao. Mizuki suggests that he take care of her in place of Misao. Katsuki nearly falls down and tells Mizuki that he's just dizzy. Mizuki uses this as an opportunity to cook for him. Katsuki stays in bed and thinks about the situation. Then he hears a crash, and he goes to the kitchen, and Mizuki is hanging from a high cabinet, and Katsuki helps her. Mizuki falls onto the floor, and Katsuki ends up on top of her while holding her. While still on top of her, Katsuki asks Mitsuki if she's ever kissed somebody. She says no. Katsuki asks, "Shall I teach you?" Mitsuki yells that she's not Misao. He disengages and starts laughing. Ren realizes that he forgot to act and was just being him. Katsuki claims that he was just punishing her, apparently, to try and play it off. Mitsuki thinks about what just happened. She feels that Katsuki was acting like the king of the night. As she's cooking, Ren calls her Miss Mogami instead of Mitsuki and thanks her for practicing with him. Ren feels that he'd like to act out that Katsuki, a Katsuki that only he can do. Ren tells Kyoko that he can do it. On the set, Ren faces off with President Lori. Lori tells Ren that he will fire him right away if he bores him with his terrible acting. Lori claims that he's found his replacement a long time ago. Ren tells him that he'll express Akatsuki better than Shuhei Kozu, who's the original Akatsuki from Tsukigomori. Ren finds Kyoko and she's quite angry. She didn't know about this whole situation with the president and him, but everyone else knew. Ren has a request. He asks uh, the lines. This is what he asks. So the lines after Mitsuki cuts her hand with the cup. Please let us improvise. Ren says that Miss Momose will do it, and that she's done this so many times she must be bored by now. Ren tells Ogata that they won't change the storyline and the ending won't change. Mitsuki will leave the room to make more tea for Katsuki. Katsuki will sink into the sofa, smile, and think of Mitsuki. Ogata asks Ren what if Mitsuki doesn't respond that way. So at the end of the volume, Ren says that he will make her act that way. So, my thoughts. It seems pretty clear to me that Ren likes Kyoko. And he is now struggling with this realization fully as Bo and Ren are talking. Like I said with the previous volume, Bo and Ren have a very interesting relationship. It's going to be very interesting if when Ren ever finds out that Bo is indeed Kyoko. I don't know if that's ever going to happen anytime soon, but it very well could be some sort of plot device. Um, but yeah, as far as him liking Kyoko, it seems to match or parallel what's going on with Katsuki and Mitsuki. And it seems like Ren's kind of figuring things out. So we'll see how much farther along this is going. However, Ren is saying that he's closing off his heart and his feelings. He's finding reasons not to like this girl who is presumably Kyoko and seems to be just finding excuses not to like her and not to let her inside his heart, I guess. Um, President Lori, made this ultimatum to Ren. Ren, I'm guessing in the next volume, it's time to put up or shut up, I guess. And Ren seems pretty confident, though. I mean, it's just like, I'm gonna make Miss Momose act this way. He seems to have gotten a handle on Katsuki and whatnot, and I think we can attribute this to Kyoko and Ren rehearsing. Because she was playing Mitsuki, they were improvising, Ren was playing Katsuki. Stuff kind of happened. He was kind of not acting like himself. He was acting like the king of the night. I don't know why. I find the king of the night, you know, to be I don't know, just such a off the wall character. And I guess this kind of parallels something with Kyoko. She's Mio. She can play a proprietress. She can play this role or that role, an angel and whatnot. And it looks like Ren kind of has that in himself. There's Ren Suruga, lying, gentlemanly smiling, Ren Suruga. King of the Night, Ren Suruga. Katsuki, Ren Suruga. you know? I find the King of the Night, I don't know, it's just kind of like, it's such a Kyoko thing to call him, I guess, because she's so like pure and whatnot. So I find it quite comical that she addresses and labels this side of Ren as the king of the night. It's just I don't know. I get a kick out of it. I don't really I can't really explain it. It's such a I guess it's because like it's such a Kyoko thing to do and such a Kyoko label. Considering how like innocent she is and whatnot. I hope that Ren does find his Kotsky. It seems like I think the rehearsal really helped. Rehearsing with Kyoko's kind of helped. Him kind of dealing with his feelings with Kyoko and kind of placing that into Kotsky might really help him out as well. We'll see how Miss Itsumi Mimose is going to react to that, though. She seems to be something of a proud actress. And, Ren's all like, I'm going to make her act that way. I don't know how she's going to react to that. So in the next volume, you know, we'll see how Mimose is going to act to Ren because so far she's been like, oh yeah, he's not that good. Mio's better. Blah 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 blah. Now Ren seems real confident here, and maybe she'll see Ren's true acting ability, and Ren's gotta put it out there because President Lori is going to be on watch here, and if he doesn't do a good job, then Ren's getting the axe. So we'll see how this next volume turns out. So that's all for today. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment to this channel. Thank you for listening to this manga review. Next time, I'll have a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 13 and 14, a reading of my short story, The Witch's Origin, a movie review for Black Panther, and like, I call it like a journal for my experience at the Long Beach Comic Expo. So, thank you, and until next time.